do you think that leaders should assess and address all of the disruptive technology in the business world today and competition?
Well, one piece of the puzzle is you do want to, as a leader, focus on sustained success. So having said that, you might actually need to be able to, quote, lead change, because we have to adapt and change, but then a lot of that change is not incremental, it's really breakthrough, and that leads you to have to think more about doing innovative work. And so I think one of the things that as a leader you need to think about is it's not going to be all about what you're capable of doing. I think most, even great visionary leaders know that. But they need to really focus again on how do we help people be willing and able to do this hard work? It's emotionally taxing, it's intellectually taxing. You know, there's not a lot of safety in organizations today. So you as a leader have to help people prepare themselves to deal with all the change that's all around them in a pretty insecure environment that we all live in. So I think to be a great leader and to really build an organization where you see that sustained success and you're going to be prepared and open to disruption, because none of us really want to be it's insecurity that comes with disruption. So you as a leader have to recognize both the emotional and the intellectual tasks associated with building a sustained business today, and I think help people address the head and the heart in that, and maybe to some extent the soul, going back to the purpose of the work, and the work needs to be meaningful to people. So I think that one thing that you do to prepare them is you help them understand that you're in it, we're together on this, you're not alone. You know what? We're going to make some missteps and some mistakes, and you're not going to be punished, for those, because that's what happens when you're trying to adapt. We actually are doing it in a collective way where you have some right to have some influence and decisions. The hard work you do is going to be used. It's not me in the end who's only going to decide what happens. And so again, I think you were so kind to read the book, and one of the things we see is in these organizations is they have more inclusive ways that decision making gets done. So if I do all that hard work, it will be worth something. I'll be able to contribute. So I think one of the things is you do build a culture that helps people be open to the fact that yes, we're going to feel insecure. Yes, there's going to be this anxiety. Yes, there are going to be these disruptions, but I'm not in on it. I'm not in on this alone. I have a company that I feel a part of a community that can help me get this done, and also I know that we have some of those capabilities necessary. The other thing, though, is I actually wrote another book at the same time with a co-author as I was working on this book called Being the Boss, and the reason we wrote that book, I just want to be real clear, is because of the question you're asking about disruption. Because what we saw, for instance, is if you really want to prepare an organization to deal with disruption, you also want to encourage people to be very curious, be very outward looking and paying attention and scanning their environment and sensing what's going on out there, so that you're not, as the leader, having to tell them, by the way, look at this disruption that's coming. They're actually coming to you because you've helped them learn how to have that outward focus, how to build networks that are very outward looking, so that they are bringing in information to the organization about what's coming. So I think, again, that's the other piece of the puzzle. And in the being the boss piece and the leadership part of it, we talked about 3 imperatives. One is managing your network. And that network piece, one part of it is your network broad enough and diverse enough for you to be bringing in information to the organization so that you can help the organization stay open and have, anticipate what's coming so you can kind of prepare yourself. So I think that's the other piece of that puzzle. Having everyone in the organization understand that their role is to look out and identify, as it relates to their area of responsibility, what's happening out there that we need to be aware of.